her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White.
Rachel Zegler reportedly broke down in tears upon realizing that Brett Cooper has officially taken over the iconic role of Snow White. And even more shocking, she's crushing her in ratings. Brett Cooper, the outspoken conservative star from The Daily Wire, has stepped into the spotlight as the new Snow White, and the internet is in an absolute frenzy over it. Social media is buzzing, and the reactions are nothing short of explosive. It's no surprise that people are overwhelmingly siding with Brett Cooper over Rachel Zegler, and there are plenty of reasons why. The backlash against Zegler isn't random. There's a story behind why the public is slamming her so relentlessly. Rachel Zegler, originally cast as Snow White, had ambitious plans to shake up this beloved fairy tale. Out went the classic Prince rescues princess storyline. Instead, Zegler envisioned a bold, modern twist. No Prince Charming, no waiting around for a man to save the day. But isn't that a bit too bold of a move by Disney? For many fans, it feels less like progress and more like rewriting a legacy. Here's what you need to know: fans weren't exactly jumping for joy over Zegler's vision for Snow White. To many, this classic tale is a sacred piece of childhood nostalgia, a dreamy love story complete with a prince, a princess, and that magical, happily ever after ending. So, when Zegler's version scrapped the prince altogether, it felt like a gut punch to those who cherished the original story. Picture this. You're expecting a romantic fairy tale, only to find out the love story has been replaced with a so-called modern twist. Fans took to the internet in droves, venting their frustration and arguing that some classics are better left untouched. It wasn't just criticism, it was a rallying cry. You could almost hear them shouting, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it!" But wait, the controversy doesn't stop there. But the prince isn't the only change that has Disney fans seeing red. Let's talk about the 7 dwarves. Or should we even call them dwarves anymore? Disney decided to shake things up again, and instead of casting little people in these iconic roles, they brought in a group of taller actors. Yes, you heard that right. The dwarves aren't dwarves anymore. The decision stemmed from actor Peter Dinklage, a well-known advocate for representation, who criticized the original story as offensive. Disney, clearly rattled by the backlash, panicked and swapped out little people for a diverse cast of taller actors, thinking this would somehow avoid controversy. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Instead, it sparked even more outrage, with fans and critics alike calling it a ridiculous overcorrection that completely missed the point of true inclusivity. And trust me, it only gets messier from here. This decision only threw more fuel on the fire. Fans were quick to point out that Disney missed a golden opportunity to give 7 lesser-known actors, literally little, a chance to shine in career-making roles. These iconic parts could have been a massive step forward for little people in Hollywood. Instead, Disney's choice came across as exclusion wrapped up in a shiny package of so-called progress. And that's not all. Let's pivot back to Snow White herself. Disney's decision to cast Rachel Zegler, a Latina actress, stirred up an entirely different kind of controversy. While some applauded the move as a win for diversity, others weren't so thrilled. For them, it felt like Disney was forcing a change to the character's core identity, sparking yet another heated debate. Snow White's entire identity is rooted in her description, skin as white as snow. Changing that struck a deep nerve with fans, who felt the character was being altered beyond recognition. For many, it wasn't about rejecting diversity, it was about staying true to the story's essence. And just when everyone thought the uproar had started to settle, leaked set photos hit the internet, and chaos erupted all over again. Disney's PR team scrambled to contain the damage, insisting the photos were fake. But here's the twist: they weren't. Fans saw right through the denial, and the backlash only grew louder. At this point, it's like Disney is juggling one controversy after another, and every single ball is crashing to the ground. Whether it's the missing prince, the not-so-dwarfy dwarves, or the endless debates over casting, this project seems to be lurching from one PR disaster to the next. It's almost as if every decision made has added another layer to the controversy. But here's why this actually matters. For generations, Snow White has been more than just a movie. It's a timeless fairy tale that has enchanted audiences for decades. Fans aren't just looking for a film, they're searching for that spark of magic, the sweeping romance, and the whimsical charm they fell in love with as kids. Strip that away, and what's left? A hollow shell of what once made it special. A polarizing remake that's alienating the very audience it was meant to captivate. And just when you thought things couldn't get more dramatic, Disney turned up the heat with even more eyebrow-raising decisions for their new Snow White. The biggest shocker? Dropping the Seven Dwarfs from the title entirely. That's right, it's no longer Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, it's just Snow White. Why, you ask? Because this remake only includes one dwarf. Yes, one. Fans, as you'd expect, are absolutely losing it. Many are asking the obvious. Why even call it Snow White if you're stripping away everything that made the original so iconic? It's like Disney is rewriting history, and people are not having it. It's like ordering a pizza and getting breadsticks instead. Sure, it's still food, but it's definitely not what you signed up for. Disney's reasoning seems to stem from a fear of causing offense, but fans are calling it an extreme overcorrection. Many are arguing that this isn't about progressiveness. It's about erasing the charm of a story that's been cherished for generations. The whole situation feels like Disney is walking a tightrope, desperately trying to please everyone, but in the process, leaving no one happy. And then there's Rachel Zegler. The actress didn't just cut Prince Charming out of the story, she took things a step further by outright calling the classic prince a creepy stalker. Yes, you heard that right. She actually said that. It's a bold take, no doubt, flipping the narrative on what many have always seen as a timeless and heartwarming love story. While some applauded Rachel Zegler for challenging outdated tropes, others were absolutely furious. A creepy stalker? Really? Fans asked, outraged. To many, these fairy tales are meant to be an escape, a magical refuge from the chaos of reality. Painting the prince as a villain felt like dismantling the very fantasy they've cherished for generations. Then came Brett Cooper, stepping into the role of Snow White under the Daily Wire banner. And let's just say, she wasted no time stirring the pot. Brett dived headfirst into the drama, turning heads and shaking up the narrative in a way that has everyone talking. Brett made it crystal clear. She's all in for sticking with the classic love story. No reimagining of history, just the timeless, magical fairy tale everyone knows and loves. Her perspective really resonated with many. For fans who felt let down by Disney's modern twist, Cooper's version became a beacon of hope. It was like someone saying, "We get it, you love the original, and we're bringing it back." Imagine being told everything you cherished about a childhood story was suddenly wrong. That's how many fans felt. Cooper's take was exactly what they needed. But hang tight, because things are about to get even more thrilling. The Daily Wire didn't just cast Brett Cooper, they're diving headfirst into their own Snow White remake. Yep, a full-on retelling that promises to stay true to the original fairy tale. Talk about raising the stakes! This move rocked Hollywood, and now fans can't wait to see which version will capture their hearts. On one side, you have Disney's ultra-modern Snow White, ditching the prince and the dwarves for a more progressive approach. On the other, the Daily Wire is banking on nostalgia, delivering a faithful rendition that's all about those classic fairy tale vibes. And here's the twist. The rivalry got so intense that Disney decided to push their movie back. Instead of hitting theaters in 2024, Disney's Snow White won't arrive until 2025. That's right. Disney, the entertainment giant, is stepping back, possibly rethinking some of their choices. Why the delay? Some say they're trying to avoid a box office clash with the Daily Wire's version, while others think they're scrambling to adjust after the massive backlash. Either way, it's not every day that a company like Disney hesitates in the face of competition. Now, fan reactions have turned into a full-blown fairy tale rivalry. It's like a sports league, only with princesses and dwarfs instead of touchdowns and three-pointers. On one side, fans are rallying behind Disney's bold reimagining. They argue it's time to break free from outdated stereotypes and let Snow White be her own hero. On the other, there's a passionate group backing the Daily Wire's version. For them, the magic of the original story is irreplaceable. They want the prince, the dwarfs, and that classic happily ever after charm. It's a battle between modernity and nostalgia, and neither side is backing down. The stakes are high, and the big question is, which Snow White will win over the audience's heart? Will it be Disney's progressive spin, pushing fairy tales into new territory? Or will it be the Daily Wire's tribute to the original, bringing back the stories that enchanted us as kids? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and please subscribe for more updates. See you in the next one.